Does your sleep system feel broken because no matter what you do, you can't seem to get any sleep? Let's talk about in this video whether you can actually break your sleep system and what to do. So let's start off with some good news. You cannot break your sleep system. I know you feel like something must be broken because you can't seem to get more sleep. You aren't sleeping, so something must be broken, right? This is very normal to feel this way, but I promise you that nothing is broken. Pretty much everyone who goes through chronic insomnia has these same exact feelings. They wonder what is wrong with them, what is broken, how to fix it, and why no one seems to be able to figure it out. You're probably asking, if I'm not sleeping, I can't sleep, then something must be wrong. So how is nothing broken? How is my sleep system not broken if I'm not sleeping? That is because your brain thinks there is danger and it wants to keep you awake or keep you in a lighter sleep so that you can get to safety. So basically it all starts from the beginning. If you go back to when you first started having sleep issues, you had some kind of disrupted sleep. This could be from medication side effects. It could be from a lot of stress in your life, something traumatic happened. I don't know, all sorts of things that can cause disrupted sleep, like hormone changes, menopause, things like that. Now, we lost some sleep, and then we started to worry that we're not going to get even more sleep, and then we lost even more sleep, and then we start to have this strong fear of not being able to sleep or losing even more sleep. And then we start to lose even more sleep. That fear that we're feeling, that fear of being awake at night and trying to escape being awake at night with like pills and supplements and things like that, are sending signals to the brain that there is danger. Now, your brain doesn't realize that there isn't an actual physical threat out there. All it knows is that you're sending these signals of danger, fear, and trying to escape sleeplessness. So your brain activates that fight or flight system, your hyperarousal levels up, and we can't sleep. Your brain doesn't want you to go to sleep. When you're fearing being awake at night, your brain thinks there's danger. If you go to sleep, you're getting deep, long, restful sleep. That puts you at danger for whatever danger your brain thinks is out there that doesn't really exist, but that puts you at danger because you won't be able to wake up and fight or flee quick enough. So your brain wants you to be in a more shallow sleep. It doesn't want you to get as much sleep because it thinks there's danger out there. Yes, your brain is confused, but it is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. By the way, I am now offering free group coaching with absolutely anyone who wants to join, where you can ask me all the questions you like about insomnia, get personalized support and guidance along your journey. Then join my free sleep makeover community. The link is in the description box below, and I hope to see you over there. Okay, so now that you understand why you aren't sleeping, things aren't such a mystery, let's talk about what to do to show your brain that you are safe, because that is the key to overcoming insomnia. We need to stop sending these signals of fear and trying to escape sleeplessness, because those are what's sending signals that there is danger, and we need to go in the opposite direction and show your brain that you are safe, so that with time it will stop activating the fight or flight system and you will start to sleep more. So we have these two aspects that are sending signals that there is danger. Let's start with the first one, which is fear. We're fearing being awake. Your brain doesn't understand that's not a physical threat that we're fearing. All it knows is that you are fearing something. So we need to reduce that fear. And now there are a lot of ways that we can do this, and there's too much to teach in one single video. But we're going to start off with learning to reframe those fears. I have been talking about this a lot lately in my videos. I don't know why. So you might have already touched on this a little bit if you watched my previous videos, but it's really helpful to go over it again. So what we do is we can list out Get out a piece of paper, list out every single fear that you have, every single worry that you have about sleep and insomnia, about whether you'll sleep tonight or things that will happen if you don't sleep, or maybe you won't be a good parent, you're going to lose your job, or you won't be able to get through the day. Like every single thing. There's no wrong answer. You can list them all out. By the way, you can practice this in the moment when you catch a fear-based thought. You can start off doing this where you list off all the fears, or you can just do it every single day, whatever works for you. But it's also helpful to learn to catch your thoughts and reframe them in the moment. Go to your list. You don't have to do it now, or you can pause the video, make sure you have a list before we continue. And you're going to go through each one and you're going to reframe it to something a little bit more positive or something that feels a little bit better. Now, we aren't going to go to this super positive reframe. I don't promote toxic positivity over here. We're going to go to something that you can actually believe. So let's say your fear is that you will never overcome insomnia because nothing has worked before. You can reframe it to a bunch of different ways. You can write down, I didn't really understand what was causing insomnia. I wasn't going after the root cause. What was actually the problem all along? The brain thinking there's danger. I was taking pills and supplements and meditations and hypnosis and doing all these different things that weren't working. That's because they were going after the hyperarousal. They weren't going after what was causing the hyperarousal. They were just trying to lower the hyperarousal so that you could sleep instead of what's causing the hyperarousal in the first place. Okay, that was a really long reframe, but it can help you maybe the first time to write that all out. You don't need to do that every time. But another reframe of worrying that you'll never be able to overcome insomnia is to say something like, you can go to something neutral. I really like to teach how to go neutral with a statement of, I am open to this feeling. So I fear I will never overcome insomnia because nothing has worked. To, I am open to feeling hope that I can overcome insomnia. Or maybe you're feeling a little more positive. I now feel like I understand insomnia more and I have some hope that I can overcome insomnia. If you're worried about, there's too much to explain with health risks, but if you're worried about developing some kind of health risk or health condition, negative health condition from not getting enough sleep, you can, I have a whole video that I did talking about it, but basically there is nothing that you need to worry about. There is no study that actually shows lack of sleep causes health issues. All those scary headlines and titles are just created in a way to scare you and to get you to read their article. They aren't telling you the whole truth. So I don't know how you want to reframe that right now. You can watch my video, the whole video about it, and then you can reframe to something that really helped you understand it better from that video. But maybe you're worried that you're going to get fired from your job, that you're not going to be able to do a good job. You can look at the past. You've made it through your job all the way up until now. You haven't been fired. You've maybe even done a good job. You've maybe even received a compliment. You can get through this. I used to have to go multiple days, by the way, on 0 hours sleep and be at the hospital at 4 a.m. because I'm a registered nurse and still have to do good at my job. And it was really tough. It was really difficult, but I got through. And you are getting through too. So it really helps to look at the past, and you can reframe maybe the first time writing all that out, or reframing to something as simple, I have done a good job up to now. I can continue to do a good job. So go ahead, go through that entire list and reframe them to something a little bit more positive or neutral, something that feels a little bit better. You can feel the difference in the body. When you say the first statement, you can feel tense, like a little bit of stress in the body. And then when you say something even neutral or something a little bit more positive, hiccup, you can feel the body relax a little bit. That can really help you gauge if you're doing this correctly. Okay, so let's go back to these two aspects. It's the fear and trying to escape sleeplessness that is telling your brain there is danger. We have discussed the fear and how to reduce the fear in one way. And now let's talk about the escaping sleeplessness or trying to escape it. So the way the brain sees it is you're trying to avoid something as much as possible. It doesn't know, like I mentioned, that there's a physical threat. It just knows you're trying to not experience it. You're trying to avoid it as much as possible. And this can be from taking pills and supplements and meditation, hypnosis. I can't think of a bunch of things, but all the different things that we do to try to make ourselves sleep. Those are all ways of trying to escape and avoid sleeplessness. And that is sending a signal to your brain that there is danger. We need to do the exact opposite. Instead of trying to escape and avoid sleeplessness, we're going to allow it to happen. Now, I know you don't want to allow it to happen. You don't want to experience a single minute of it. And it's really difficult. But it is so important to stop chasing sleep with that desperation. You have to have it now, because that is going to keep you stuck. That is what's going to keep sending signals to the brain that you are in danger. So it can be so helpful, so powerful to just allow it to happen. We can't make sleep happen anyway, and we can just rest and relax. Think about the next day. If you are fighting sleep, you're chasing it, and you're desperate and trying to make it happen. It has to happen tonight. How that's going to feel mentally and physically, and how that's going to translate into the next day. Versus if you just relaxed in bed, you allowed it to happen, you didn't fight it, just relaxed, which is very rejuvenating in itself, and didn't fight it. You're mentally and physically going to feel a lot better than the alternative. And that's going to help you feel a little bit better the next day and even have more energy, even if you aren't sleeping more. So anytime that you aren't sure if you're doing the right thing or what you're supposed to be doing, think about those two things, the fear and trying to escape sleeplessness. If what you're doing is falling into one of these two categories, then going in the opposite can really help you. It can help you filter through everything about what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. Now, if you have gone to doctors and sleep doctors and they have all failed you and you do not understand why, check out this video I did where I talk about my journey with doctors, why doctors can't really help us most of the time overcome insomnia, and what to do instead. This is a really powerful video. There's lots of great tips in there, so go check that out, or you might like this other video I did. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.